Shalom. There's gonna be another daily bread entitled "Avoid Israel's Mistakes." Um, one critic, one critic sees, um, one critic sees 10:1 reads, "Moreover, brethren, I would not that ye should be ignorant, how that all our fathers were under the cloud and all passed through the sea." So all under the cloud they represent the chariots, right? This is going back to the deliverance out of Egypt, right? And the chariot that followed the Israelites deliverance out of Egypt was the cloud that followed the Israel deliverance out of Egypt was the chariots, which was Yahweh. Okay, and we're all baptized unto Moses in the cloud and in the sea, and did all eat the same spiritual meat. Okay, which is the manna, right? And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock. Well, the spiritual meat, well, it's like the spiritual meat represent the laws, the commandments, right? And they all drink of that spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Yahweh Shah. Okay, so Yahweh Shah, right? That delivered the Israelites. Okay, but with many of them, the Most High was not well pleased, right? So the Heavenly Father was not well pleased, for they were all overthrown in the wilderness, right? So they, you had the 40 years in the wilderness, right? And you had it was like they were murmuring, they wanted to go back to Egypt, right? You know, because they didn't understand, the bigger picture, right? Just like now, many of our people, they don't understand the bigger picture, right? Of why we're in captivity, of why we, going through the things we're going through. Okay, there's a bigger picture behind it. It's to get the experience of, you know, wickedness to not when we are delivered from this hellhole, right? We are more righteous, right? We will not want to become wicked again. Now these things were our examples, to the intent we should not lust after evil things, and they also lusted. So it's an example of not wanting to be wicked, like I just mentioned. Okay, you're not or not. It's an example of not not wanting. Don't do wickedness. All right, keep the Lord will. All right, do His commandments. Okay. Neither be ye idolater, worshiping other gods, as were some of them, as it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink and rose up to play. Meaning what? They were worshiping. They were partaking in pagan, heathen, you know, um, um, doctrines, and worshiping other gods, basically. Okay. Neither let us commit fornication, as some of them committed, and fell in one day 320,000. Okay. Yeah. So all of that commit fornication, they all got destroyed. Right. All died. Neither let us tempt the anointed, as some of them also tempted and were destroyed of serpents. Okay. And neither murmur ye, as some of them also murmured and were destroyed of the destroyer. What murmur? Murmur is garment, is complaining, right? And guess what? Those Israelites back then, during the time, in the wilderness, they all got destroyed. Okay, for murmuring. Okay, now all these things happen unto them for examples, and they all are written for our admonition, or meaning warning, upon whom the ends of the world are come. Wherefore let him that thinketh he standeth take heed lest he fall. Yeah, if you think the Lord, He's on your side, you think the Lord, not the Lord, but if you think the Lord, you think you keep all these commandments, right? You just the most kindest, righteous person on this planet, right? You got to remain humble, okay? We none of us is good. None of us is righteous in the sense of not doing any sin, right? We all commit sin, right? We all fall, okay? We all fall, right? The scripture says, "The righteous man fall 10 times, get back up," right? There has no temptation taken you but such as is coming to man. But the Most High is faithful, who he will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but with what will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may all be able to bear it. Right? This is a common scripture preach that we hear us quote. You hear brothers quote, right? And this goes back to, the temptation that we experience, right? Just like, for example, the mark of beast, right? The great temptation, right? The micro C of being made mandatory. That's a temptation that the Lord he gonna make a way to escape, right? He gonna provide. For example, we can't buy, we can't get food, we can't get clothing, we can't. The Lord he gonna provide for us. He gonna give us the things we need, right? Or he might just have it where we just have to be martyrs, right? Which is okay, right? That means that our suffering ends, okay? And we will experience righteousness, okay? Wherefore, my dearly brethren, wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry. I speak as to wise men. Judge ye what I say. All right, so yes, we need to flee from righteousness, right? It's a righteous thing to do. Flee for fucking. We need to flee from idolatry. It's a righteous thing to do. All right, don't worship other gods. Okay. The cup of blessings which we bless is not the communion of the blood of the anointed. The bread which we break is it not the communion of the blood of the anointed. For we being many are one bread and one body. For we are all partakers of that one bread. Okay. Behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? All right, continuing. Right, 1 Corinthians 16:18 says, behold, Israel after the flesh, are not they which eat of the sacrifices partakers of the altar? What say I then? That the idol is anything, or that which is offered in sacrifice to idols is anything. But I say that the things which the Gentiles sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils and not to the Most High. And I will not that ye should have fellowship with devils, okay? So the sacrifices of the Gentiles, right? Which are the Israelites in the Gentiles in the Greek state of the month, okay? Sacrificing to devils, right? And Paul, basis or the Paul to the Spirit of the Lord is saying, don't be partakers of the Gentiles of the Israelites as worshiping idols, okay? Don't have fellowship with them. Don't, participate with them, okay? Don't gather amongst them. You cannot drink the cup of the Lord and the cup of devils, right? You cannot, meaning drink of the cup of the Lord means what? You getting the truth, the wisdom of the Lord, right? Of the true power, Yahweh Shai. But then you going over and getting knowledge and wisdom of left hand, right? Of false gods, of idols. Right, you cannot drink of the cup of the Lord and the cup of the devil. And then what you send these people, these Israelites out here doing, right? Trying to drink of the cup of the Lord, right? Trying to get the truth, understand the wisdom of the Lord, right? But then want to get down with Esau and practice left hand, wickedness, right? You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table in the tables of devils, right? Okay. Do we provoke the Lord to jealousies? Are we stronger than He? No, we're not stronger than the Lord, right? And we don't want to provoke the Lord to jealousy. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. Okay, yeah. There are certain things that are lawful for us, but it doesn't mean that we need to do it, okay? All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not. Okay? Let no man seek his own, but every man another wisdom. Whatsoever is sold in these shambles that eat, asking no question for conscience' sake. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. If any of them that believe not bid you to a feast, and ye be disposed to go, whatsoever is set before you, eat, asking no question for conscience' sake. But if any man say unto you, this is offered in sacrifice unto idols, eat not for his sake that shewed it, and for conscience' sake. For the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. Conscience, I say, not thy own, but of the other. For why is my liberty judged of another man's conscience? For if by grace be a partaker, why am I evil spoken of for that for which I give thanks? Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever you do, do all to the glory of the Most High. Yes, right? This is why we bless our food before we eat it. You know, we do all to the glory of the Lord. Give none offense, neither to the Jews, nor to the Gentiles, nor to the church of the Most High. Even as I please all men in all things, not seeking my own profit, but the profit of many, that they may be saved. Right? You say it right. And this was the that precept going up to let no man seek his own, but every man's another wealth. That goes back into, you know, giving not hiding the Lord penny, right? You know, not hiding the Lord truth, right? Not hiding the Lord spoke about that in the parable, right? You know, I'm actually get it. Okay. In Luke 19, the parable of money usage. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna basically I'm gonna bring out the point, but I'm just gonna get a little background of it. So basically, you know, this 11th verse is going to basically 11 verse and 12 verse are going to, you know, the how was shot. Okay. Going to this parable, and this parable is going to this nobleman, which is Yahushua, going to a far country to receive from that kingdom, which is the kingdom of heaven, and to return with that kingdom, right? When he was coming back to deliver his elect, okay? And you know, deliver them. And he called his 10 servants, going to, you know, the teachers, right? The elect, the teachers and the prophets, right? They gave him 10 pounds, which is going to the money, right? The truth, this wisdom, this knowledge, is like unto money, and said unto them, occupy till I come. Meaning what? You know, invest. Okay, you know, invest in the wisdom. Invest, give out the knowledge and wisdom, right? Then here's the point: says, and another came. So the servants, the Lord came back with the kingdom, right? So basically, they're going to have the Lord came back, right? And then the Lord had seen how basically the Lord is looking over their works, right? And judges them based on their works. And you know, whoever invested more, they get this, you know, portion of the kingdom of heaven. So this one servant, right? Going to the 20th verse, it says, another came saying, Lord, behold, here is thy pound which I have kept laid up in the napkin. So this one servant kept the Lord money, right, with truth, knowledge, right, in the napkin, right? Meaning what? He didn't go out and invest in it, right? He just kept it stored up. He just kept it to himself, basically. Okay. Then you can read it. You can pause and read the rest of the verse. But yeah, the point is, right? You know, we shouldn't be keeping this knowledge and wisdom to ourselves. We should be invested in it. You know, teaching others, right? Now, the scripture does speak about how not give out pearls unto swine. Anyway, don't give your pearls. Don't give this knowledge, wisdom unto, you know, person, that is, who is just a demon, okay, bug out, right, in your spirit, they're not gonna do anything with the truth, right? So this is what Paul was basically going to say, even as I please all men in all things, not seek my own profit, right? For the profit of many, that they may be saved. So, Jesus said, I too try to please everyone in everything I do. I don't just do what is best for me, I do what is best for others, so that many may be saved. That was that wicked servant was doing. He was trying to do what best for him, right? He was not trying to do what best for, the sheep, right? Others, right? So what the Lord judged him, because he was a wicked servant, right? So we can't be just looking, seeking our own, good, seeking our own, trying to seek our own benefit, whatnot. We have to be looking to, make sure the sheep, is fed, the sheep is taken care of, right? We're investing the Lord truth, okay, money to, to who he wants to who he wants us to. I'm close here by giving all glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shabbat Shem, next conversation.